Welcome. In this, we'll understand the Boyce-Codd Normal Form (BCNF). It is more stricter than 3NF, and it is compared to 2NF and 3NF. BCNF has minimal redundancy. So BCNF is stricter version of 3NF. Only difference is in 3NF the y x determines y. The y can be prime attribute or x can be super key, right? But here we'll remove this condition. BCNS removes that there is no prime attribute. The left hand x should be a super key. That's it. All the functional dependencies we have x should be a super key. Now why? What is the impact of BCNF violation? So like your 2NF and 3NF, one thing is redundancy, and then in 2NF you see because of partial dependency we have update anomalies, and then in 3NF you have seen redundancy and deletion anomalies because of transitive dependency. Here, if the relation is not in BCNF, it may have redundancy, may have update anomalies, and then insertion anomalies as well. Okay. So for example, let us say student, subject, and professor is a table with attributes. So let us say the functional dependencies. Student comma subject determines professor, then professor determines subject. So here candidate keys are student comma subject and student comma professor. So let us take this data here in this table, student, subject, and professor. Now what is the redundancy here? The professor, say P1 here, teaches Java is repeated. Okay, we know that Professor P1 teaches Java. For every student it is being repeated, so it's a redundancy. So instead you create separate table for subject and professor. Okay, and then update anomaly. If P1 changes subject thought, multiple rows must be updated. Okay, so if P1 professor 1 say changes the subject to OS, then everywhere subject name has to be changed to OS. So instead it's better that you keep it in the separate relation. What is the insertion anomaly? We cannot store that P3 teaches AI until students enroll it. See, there is a student table, for example. Now student, whatever he enrolls, so student enroll table. Say enroll table. Now, since there is no separate table, all the subject taught by the professor is also stored in the same enroll subject. That's a problem now. So suppose say that there is a new professor, say P3, is teaching AI. Now there is no separate table to store this. I have to store it here only. But unless I have this student, one student taking that particular subject, there will be no row here. Okay, I cannot maintain this information. So that is the insertion anomaly. I cannot insert this tuple. Okay. Now, how to test and then on the what is the procedure to achieve BCNF. So relation is in BCNF if it is already in 3NF. So the concept here is simple. For every non-trivial functional dependency, x determines y. X is a super key. So the left hand side should be a super key. So now, what is the procedure? The procedure is simple, but it is same as 3NF. Only thing is the step 4 is you have to apply it repeatedly or recursively. First, you find all the candidate keys, because we need not find here prime attributes. Only candidate keys are sufficient because x determines y. I want only the super key or the candidate keys. Now test for every functional dependency x determines y using BCNF condition. X must be super key. If it violates, then it is not in BCNF. If any FD x determines y violates BCNF, that is x is not super key, choose one violating dependency. In 3NF we changed it here. There was a difference. Okay. So don't get confused. So you choose one violating dependency, not all, and create a new relation for it and store that dependency. Okay. Then remove all the attributes y from the original relation. The remaining relation keeps the candidate key and other attributes so that the decomposition remains lossless. Then repeat the BCNF test on the new relation until all relations satisfy BCNF. So this has to be step 4. Means from here again you have to repeat it here. So this is a loop or recursion unless you achieve BCNF. See, in 3NF what we did? In 3NF we checked which all dependencies violates, and then we created separate relations for each of them, and then in the last relation we kept the candidate key and all the attributes which are not part of the y, violating y, this part RHS of the violating dependency. But here it is different. So you take every time only one violating dependency, and then recursively or iteratively you go on decomposing it. Okay, once we see the examples, we'll understand. So that is the procedure to achieve BCNF. Now let us see. One example is sufficient. Now we will solve many examples, but please observe carefully. The first two steps almost remain same. So in step 1, here you are not finding any prime attributes. You just find candidate keys or super keys. So candidate keys, how will you find for this functional dependency? So essential attributes, P, C are present, AD is not present. So take AD closure. AD closure produces AD only. This cannot be candidate key. Now go on adding one non-essential attributes. AD, B. It produces A, D, B. Okay, so AB produces C. So all attributes are covered. So ABD can be the candidate key. Then ADC produces ADC and then B. This is also a candidate key. Then A, all are done, right? A, B, D, A, C, D are done. Okay, now A, B, C, D all are covered. So I cannot have all the 4 attributes as a key now. So these are the only 2 candidate keys. Now step 2 is find out which of them violates the Boyce-Codd normal form. So first you take AB determines C. If you observe here, it also violates because AB should be a super key. AB is not a super key. So this also violates the BCNF. C determines B. This violates BCNF. Now step 3 is important. In 3NF what we did, we created separate relations for this. Okay, but here you have to choose one of these. Okay, only one of them, and then recursively decompose it. So usually I can choose any one of them, not a problem. Based on what functional dependency you choose, your relations at the end will be different. Okay, there can be multiple relations in the result. Now the better idea is what the authors or experts suggest is don't choose with the multiple attributes on the left hand side. See, A, B determines C, C determines B. So C determines B, strongly violating BCNF. Here at least A, B partial key is there. Okay, so it's better you choose that which violates BCNF in a more extended way. Okay, so let us take C, B. It's not a fixed rule that you have to choose like that, but it is recommended. You can choose any one of them. So let us say C determines B. So what they say, you now create a relation for this C, B. Okay, now other than B, you retain the original attributes in the relation R. So R2 will become A, C and D. Okay, so this is final. One relation is final because you observe here C determines B in the original functional dependencies. In this relation, only 2 attributes, and C is the super key, right? Or minimal super key or candidate key. C is a candidate key for this relation. C determines B because C determines B. And this is in BCNF. So I need not decompose it again. Now you check here A, C and D. So here there is no other dependency which is violating, right? Okay. There is A, B determines C, B is not here. C determines B, okay? So is not there. So this is also in BCNF. It is not violating BCNF. Okay. There is no functional dependency which violates the BCNF. So this is also already in BCNF. So these are the final 2 relations. Because if you observe here, it already contains the candidate key. The last relation contains the candidate C, A, D and C. That's how you achieve BCNF. First find the candidate key. So what are the essential attributes? CD is present on right side, B and C are present. So only A is left out. A is essential. Find A closure. A determines B, AB determines CD. So this is only candidate key. Now in step 2, check for violation of BCNF. AB determines CD. AB is a super key because A is a candidate key. So AB is a super key. Then A determines B. A is a minimal super key. Hence these 2 are not violating BCNF. B determines C. B is not a super key. Hence this is violating. So in step 3, to create a relation for BC. So R1, BC. Then the remaining attributes other than C. So you will have A, B, and D. Now this B determines C here. So B is the key, right? So this is in BCNF. What about this? A, D, and D. So if you observe this by decomposition, AB determines C and AB determines D. So AB is the key. This is AB determines C. Hence this is also in BCNF. Okay, so this is actually step 4. Here also the last relation what you get is the step 4. Next, again find the candidate key. So A, C, D, E are there. B is not there. A, C, D, E. So B closure you find. B closure is B, D, E. So this is not a candidate key. Then you find A, B closure now. Unknown non-essential attribute. A, B closure is A, B, C, D, and E. All are present. So this is a candidate key. Then you find out B, C closure. B, C determines A. Then that's it. So this is not a candidate key. Sorry. B, C determines A. Then B determines D, D determines E. So all are present. So this is also a candidate key. Then remaining is D. D produces E. Then so others are not possible. So only A, B are the candidate keys. Now you check the violation of BCNF. A, B determines C. A, B is the key. So this is not violating. Then C determines A. C is not a key. This is violating BCNF. B determines D. D is not a key. This is also violating BCNF. D determines C also is violating because D is not a key. So now in step 3, very important now. Out of this CA, BD, and DE, okay, on the left hand side only single attributes are there. So you choose any one of them. So whichever you choose, you will go in a different path. Okay, so you will get different relations at the end, which are in BCNF. So you can choose any one of them. Let us choose D determines E. Now create a relation for DE. Now D determines E, right? So D is the key. Hence, this is already in BCNF. Now remaining attributes to put step 4. Remaining attributes are what? Other than E. So A, B, C, D. Now you check any violation of BCNF. AB determines C in the original relation. So AB is the key, right? AB is the key. So this is not violating. Then C determines A. This is violating, right? C determines A. So you can stop here and then proceed with C and A only. So now again you go to step 3 recursively. Again inside this step 3, C, A is violating. So you create a new table for C and A. C determines A is a functional dependency. So C becomes the key. So this is in BCNF. Now from this, okay, so derive this. So from this you remove A. So R4 will be A is being determined, right? So you have to remove A from this. So B, C, and D will be remaining. So this is step 4 inside that step. Okay, recursion or iterative. Now you check the functional dependencies. B determines D and B is not a key. Okay, so take BD again your step 3 inside this repeatedly. So create separate relation for BD. B, R5 is BD and B determines D, so B is the key. So it is in BCNF. Next, inside this step 4, out of these relations, 3 attributes, you remove D. Okay, you will be left with say R6, B, C. And if you observe, BC is a key. So you can end here. So this is in BCNF. So final relations are 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the relations, final relations. So R1, DE, where D is the key, R3, C is the key, CA, R5, B is the key and D, R6, B is the key and C. Okay. So these are the final 4 relations that are in BCNF. This is the final decomposition. Next. Again, find out the candidate keys. So C, D, E, B. C, D, E, B. So A closure. A is the essential attribute. A determines A only. So next, take one with non-essential. A, B closure. A, B closure is A, B, C, D, E. So this is the candidate key. Then A, C closure. A, C produces D, D produces C, E produces B. All are present. So AC is also a candidate key. Then AD closure. A produces D, AD, D determines E, E determines B, and then AB together determines C. So all are present. This is also a candidate key. A, B, C, D are covered. So 3 attribute candidate key is not minimal now. You cannot take it. So only 3 candidate keys we have found. Now check for the violation. AB determines C. It is not violating. Okay. It is in BCNF because AB is the key. C determines D is violating, right? C is not a key. So you need not find others. When you have got, you can start decomposing from here. Go to step 3. Find a table for C determines D. So let us say R1, C determines D. So C becomes the key here. So this is in BCNF. Now create another relation in step 4 with other attributes and the key. R2 other than D. A, B, C, E. Now check any violation here. A, B determines C, no violation. Then E determines B. Right? E determines B. So E is not a key. So this is a violation. Again, recursively go to step 3. So here create table for E determines B. So R3, E will be the key, EB. So this is in BCNF. Now step 4 inside step, the previous step. So step 4, what is that? You have to remove B from this. Okay, so we will get R4, A, C and E. Now check again any violation here. So C determines E, okay, and C determines D and D determines C. So transitively C determines C. So you have to check all the combinations, okay. So C is determining E and C is not a super key. So hence this is a violation. So again split that into separate. Here C determines E, will get relation R5 say C is the key and E. Out of this remove E. So in step 4 you will get R6. So this is in BCNF. R6. What is left out? A, C. AC is the key. So this, you can stop it here. AC is the key. So it's in BCNF. So there are again 4 relations. R1, R3, R5, R6. This is the final BCNF decomposition. The properties of BCNF. Unlike your 2NF and 3NF. 2NF and 3NF, there exists always a decomposition where lossless join and dependency preserving both are possible. But in BCNF, decomposition to BCNF always exists. That is lossless. Okay, lossless decomposition exists for BCNF, but we cannot guarantee the dependency preservation because you are dependent on the super key always. So decomposition to BCNF is not always dependency preserving. Not always. Sometimes it may be possible, but we cannot guarantee. While every BCNF decomposition is lossless, some functional dependencies may be lost in the process to eliminate all redundancies. That's why BCNF has redundancy in BCNF is least minimal compared to 2NF and 3NF. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and share.